Uh, man, I can't think of anything clever here. All right, let's start from scratch. Best of 5 grand finals coming up right now. We're going to altitude for game number 1, and spawning in the upper right-hand corner is, of course, the Zerg you expected to see here for Dragon Kitesy Gaming. It is Dark. And his opponent in the lower left, the Protoss you knew in your hearts was going to be in the finals. It is Dragon Kitesy Gaming's herO. Don't have to say anything clever if I just do like really generic intros, right? I think that's how it works. I don't know, the clever part of my brain seems to be off tonight. I'll have to try to reactivate that before I cast again tomorrow. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've been reading too much of Twitch chat. I feel like I should close Twitch chat while I'm casting. Maybe that's the play. Oh, on that note, I'm really excited. I do have a desk, a casting desk coming in soon. I'm hoping to get a nice setup going here where I can stand and cast, because I really like doing that. Almost as much as I like sneezing in range of the mic. Feels much more fluid. I think part of it is like when you're speaking, your diaphragm is much more free when you're standing versus when you're sitting. It also feels weird, I think. Like something about it has always felt a little weird to me to, I don't know, I guess like perform while sitting. A lot of people don't, I think of streaming like a performance, but it really feels like it to me, especially if I'm casting. But pretty much every stream for me is a performance in a way, like an improv performance. It always feels weird to perform while sitting. Unless I'm like playing piano. Or I guess playing StarCraft, but when I'm casting it, it's like, I should be standing. I start standing, and then the next step is to get like a really good headset mic. Or a really bad headset mic. That way I can just absolutely trigger Sal. Would be kind of a waste of my like $250 microphone though if I just got a bad mic to make one person be sad. Could be worth it though. It's always worth it to annoy Infantry Zelda. I know Fear Dragon would agree with me. I like how Dark, for just a second, clicked this Overlord and sent it to the pillar. Like he was like, oh, I gotta save the Overlord, but he realized right after that it's a Phoenix. It's like, I guess I'll just scout with it until it dies. Phoenix Opener is pretty interesting for herO. I think I don't see that often these days. I feel like even Void Rays are more usual than a Phoenix Opener. But could certainly still have some utility. We've seen players go for the classic Queen lift. Queen can't really help defend against the 2 Oracles. I see something like that. I think it's mostly to kill that first Overlord, like it's a little bit cheaper than the Void Ray. But I think herO is going to go for a Queen lift. Dark is getting kind of prepared for it, though. He's got that Spore Crawler coming down at the 3rd, and I don't think he would do that without the Phoenix here. I think he would play a little bit more fast and loose with the Spore Crawler. But he's got 3 Queens and the Spore. Phoenix can't lift a Spore. It's not that buff. But he's going to go for the Queen anyways. Oracles fly by, get a couple of kills. Yeah, herO just doing his normal thing, gets 3 kills, gets 4 kills just at that very last second. Can he actually hide back here? It feels like he shouldn't be able to, but I guess he's far enough away. Queens have the most range in the world right up until they just don't. Phoenix also a great way to scout, so I do love this. Can't really hide buildings from the Phoenix that well. And it's a charged follow-up for herO. Getting into a... I really, really almost called it an Archon Den for a second. The Templar Archives. I think he will use it like an Archon Den. I don't know if we're going to see Storm out of herO, at least not right away. He could go for it, though. You know what? He's got the Robo Bay here. I was thinking maybe charge him +1 and hitting with a couple of Archons might be the play for herO. But with the Robo Bay going down with it, this has to be some sort of macro play, right? Oh, this feels kind of strange. I guess it is going to be an Archon drop. Oh, man. An Archon drop in the year of our Lord 2023. Man, if you went back to 2016 and you watched them do an Archon drop and you said, oh yeah, Archon drop, this build is going to happen for the next 8 years, people would be like, nah, no way, dude. But yeah, no, here it is. We're still dropping Archons. 2023. I kind of love it. I would not love it if herO lost the prism. Dark, stop killing your own queen. Dark. Okay. Man, you really didn't like this queen. That queen must have done something wrong. herO's gonna take his 4th base, and yeah, I mean with the Robo Bay and Disruptors coming out, this is so interesting. This is such an interesting way for herO to get to this kind of army. It really felt like he wanted to attack at some point in this, but it's just been pressure, and he's just building up into a better and better army. I don't know if he was trying to fake Dark out. Maybe he's trying to fake the casters out. Maybe that's what it was. He's like, it's not enough fun just to like win games. I want to win games and make the commentators look bad. How can I make that happen? If anybody could do it, it's herO. I was right about one thing, though. It's just an Archon Den. We don't have any Storm. We don't have any High Templar out. For now, it is just for the Archons, the big bad boys. Dark's going to push across the map with some Roaches. Roach speed about to finish here. He's got some Lings out front. But here's got 3 Disruptors behind this. I feel like this is not going to work out too well for Dark. He's got the full wall up here as well, which actually, this is like the worst thing in the world for herO. I don't know why he full walled. He has nothing that can kill Roaches. Yeah, he's got to warp in Stalkers. He literally can't shoot these Roaches with any of his units behind a full wall. That's so funny. Worth noting, these Stalkers do not have Blink, so they're not really the most useful things in the world. Ooh, Dark going for a huge Baneling morph. He does have +1 melee and +2 missile attacks on the way. So in a little bit, that's going to be very relevant. I have a feeling if Dark starts attacking, he may continue attacking until that's relevant. He's getting ready for it. There's a lot of Archons, though, and there's a lot of Disruptors. Bane Speed finishing up just in time. Ooh, nice. Disruptor Nova sends these units back, but it does not get the connection. The Disruptors drop in the middle of nowhere and just get absolutely obliterated by the Banelings. What was that Disruptor drop? I have no idea. Probe's getting dominated by the Banelings over here as well. They're just smashing into everything. The meat of the army gets pushed back by the Charge-Lot Archon, but herO is losing so many probes in the meantime. There are still some Lings over here that could try to get something done, but herO's just going for a full counterattack. He's only on 54 probes. He is feeling like he maybe just has to win right now. Even warping in an extra High Templar by accident. Big Lings surround. Roach is trying to get some damage done, but the Disruptor Nova comes in to save those units and force the disengage. There's another Disruptor as well. Could get a big hit, but it does not. The Disruptor is not getting the connections I think they really needed. And now it's a bunch of Roaches. They move right up on the Archons. I don't know if that's the best place for them, but it might not matter. It looks like Dark's going to hold. And with so few probes back at home, herO just, he just can't macro out of this that well. Dark has way more economy than him. Zealot Warpins are making it a little bit dicey, but with 13 more roaches on the way, can herO really keep pushing here? Finally gets a decent disruptor hit, but he's got to pull back, and he's pulling back to bases that are just devoid of probes. Even this third, 6 out of 16. Not particularly ideal. And Dark's going to push it. He's going to push the counterattack. I don't know. I mean, he's got the infestation pit. I feel like getting into the lair, getting the macro going could be a stronger answer here. He's just been building a lot of roaches. Disruptor Nova is going to push these units back, but again, a beautiful split from Dark. I do not know how he does that. Taking very little damage. One roach died to that Disruptor Nova. Man, I know if that was any of you in chat, or me, maybe especially me, every single one of these roaches would have been dead from those 3 Disruptor Novas. Dark's like, nah, I'll just lose 1. And he's going to keep the pressure on, trying to run into this army, and he's just got to be super careful. He's so good, but one mistake, and that's a lot of dead units. Banelings coming in to join, killing a lot of those Zealots, but hey, there we go. One big hit from herO. And suddenly this army from Dark does not feel nearly as imposing. The Charge Lots and the Archons can really handle it a lot better. More Lings and Banes on the way. Those are crucial to dealing with this. But herO suddenly has a bit more of a chance. Look at that army supply. It's a lot closer. herO's still not really been building probes. He's built 4 this whole time. And I think he's got a chance to really push for it. Dark's going to get the surround. He's coming in from multiple sides. The Disruptor Nova's hit pretty decently, and there's still a couple left active. Gonna push the roaches away on the bottom side. I think herO's actually doing an okay job here. There's a lot of units being remade for Dark, though. Baneling's still smashing in. herO's way down on supply. Oh, a few Archons getting caught here. That is pretty brutal. His army supply is getting pretty low. Another surround, but it's a lot of Lings still against a few Archons. Some uncharacteristic mistakes from herO as well, not picking up that low Archon. Dropping those disruptors earlier into the field of Banelings to get smashed upon. I don't know if that was the strongest choice. The disruptor's doing a good job zoning. He's trying to get on top of some of the drones. Dark's economy is good, but he's nowhere near like 100 drones or anything like that. Losing drones would be very painful for him here, and would start to put them very close to even footing. So Dark decides to just evacuate, send those drones over to his 4th base. Losing the 5th is annoying for Dark, but I think it's definitely the right choice to let that happen. He can always take the 5th on the other side. Holding here is crucial. herO's only on 4 bases as well. And here, man, herO is really pushing this. Sending the Novas up. Gets a huge Baneling connection with that Disruptor Nova, and the Banelings don't end up killing anything with the counter explosion. Dark actually struggling here, and look at that. herO's actually taking the army supply lead. Pushing up with the Disruptor Novas, forcing these roaches back, getting some big connections. He does lose a few disruptors. Almost hits his own Archons there, but cancels all of those Banelings with that big hit. And now the 3rd's in trouble, and Dark taps out. herO takes game number 1. Wow. I cannot believe herO just was like, all right, I'm not going to build any probes. I'm not going to macro it all behind this. Just units, and we are going. We are going until the game ends. I can't believe he won with that. That is such a herO way to win. And I think Dark was counting on him pulling back, building some probes, maybe trying to take a 5th, and Dark was going to explode forward during that. It just didn't happen. Dark realized, oh, I have to keep building units. I cannot stop. I have to just defend, defend, defend. Because herO will not relinquish his attacking position. And herO taking advantage a little bit, I think, of Dark's... Also, Dark's desire to just rebuild a ton of roaches. He's like, oh, you built a bunch more roaches? All right. Units it is. WW. WW to finish the game. That's the most ungainly letter combination. W's are the worst. That's the worst letter name in the English alphabet. Changed my mind. That's worse than the whole Z thing. A whole ZZ thing. Anyway, spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon for game 2. Our red Zerg player for Dragon Kites Gaming. Dark. His opponent in the upper left. In the blue, his teammate, herO. When I think of herO, and I think of his play style, the idea of just deciding to attack, not macroing at all, committing 100% to the attack, and just going until the game ends one way or the other. That is a lot of what herO has done. That's like, I feel like he won a GSL with that premise, where he was just like, I'm going to send units at you. And when you think I've stopped and I'm macroing, I haven't. That Nexus I could have built, that's 4 more Zealots instead. Those extra probes, nope. Those are extra high Templar. I don't know what to tell you. We're just going harder. And, you know, when he decides to do that, a lot of times it ends up working for him. Like, he's got that killer instinct where he just knows, if I build 1 billion units right now, I'll get you. I'll get you. I still can't believe he won that game. After Dark held the first attack and pushed herO back, I was like, that's it, man. Like, it's over. It's gotta be over. herO has no probes. Never underestimate the Protoss. Disruptors are pretty good. They're pretty good units. Still felt like a very weird build from herO, though. One thing I look for with builds from players and what makes it feel weird to me is usually if a player builds a building, an upgrade, a unit, something of that nature, something expensive, they have a pretty immediate plan for it. And herO was building stuff that didn't really have like a super immediate purpose, right? He like built Charge, but he didn't warp in like any Zealots. He's just chilling. He had the Temple Archives. He built those 2 Archons for the Archon drop, but the Archon drop was so late compared to like an OG Archon drop, and you don't really expect it to get much done, so it was kind of just there. Then the Archons aren't really doing much, and he had the Robo Bay done before the Archons even came out. And it's like, all right, where's he going with the Robo Bay? And it felt like he was just building a bunch of stuff just to have it almost. But I mean, it ended up working out well for him because he had all those units that he needed when Dark attacked. But I feel like if Dark doesn't attack there, it was just herO building like a bunch of random stuff throughout the game until he gets to the point where he wants to push. I don't know. It's a weird way to put it. But it didn't feel like there was a singular moment that attacking would have been good, you know, where you have like all your upgrades lining up. It just felt like herO he was just building the stuff. He was like, these units are pretty good. I'm going to try it. You know what units are pretty good are Queens. They're really good at defending against Oracles. And Dark has decided that instead of defending against Oracles, they're going to walk across the map. Now, I don't know if you guys know the movie Chariots of Fire. When I see Queens walk across the map, there's really only one thing I think of. They're coming, guys. They're on their way. right, they did their job. They're walking home now. I can't believe it. It just Dark sent them all the way across the map. The Lings got the cancel, and the Queens just go home. So the Queens are here for one purpose, and it's to protect the Lings against the Oracle. The Oracle defends the third from the Lings. But they can't do that if the Queens are there. Honestly, I am shocked that Dark sent these all the way across the map. They hit the Nexus like 4 times. And they just turn around and walk all the way home. And they get there. They get there. herO can't do anything. He can't punish this. He doesn't have any anti-Ling stuff. If he goes out on the map, he gets surrounded. He's got 1 Oracle. That can't do anything. Beautiful. It's beautiful. 9 times out of 10 if Queens walk across the map, that's it. That's their final walk. It's the last march of the Ents. This time, though, they just like, all right, just go home. I guess we get a macro game now. So, herO wants to put some pressure on. He does have Blink. He's also got a smattering of other gateway units, and force fields can be super annoying to deal with. But he's trying to bust through this wall, and in the meantime, it's giving Dark time to get Roaches and Ravagers out, which I feel like is a mistake here for herO. Giving him that time, ooh. The counterattack from Dark, this seems like a good idea, but I feel like it's bait. herO didn't want to saturate that third. He had no probes at it. It was bait, and look at this. Dark realizes it. He pulls these units back immediately. He says, actually, I need these Lings back at home. He's going to surround the proxy. The Oracle stop him. So the Lings are going to come up and try to be part of the fight. Drones getting pulled off the line. 11 drones are already dead. More of them pushing forward. The Oracles go down. All the sentries go down. It's now just the Blink Stalkers. This gateway is almost finished. herO is very committed to this. The third stayed alive, though, so he's not 100% all in. He could stop and pull back at some point. He's still quite committed, but he could just probe up this third a little bit and make this kind of a soft contain. He knows he's killed a lot of drones. He's killing a few Queens here, trading nicely with the Lings, blinking backwards. herO making great use of these Stalkers. He is up to 25 of them, and there's just not a lot of army out for Dark. The Ravagers doing the legwork here, zoning the Stalkers away, trying to keep them back as much as possible, forcing them to blink back thanks to those Biles, but the Biles hitting a few Lings, even doing damage to Dark's own army. These Queens desperately trying to help out, but a few Queens going down here and there. Ravagers getting sniped off. More Roaches on the way. Roaches don't do super good against the Stalkers, but they last a little bit longer. herO blinks forward, feeling like he's got this one in the bag. There's a couple spines here, but it's not enough for Dark, and herO goes up 2-0 in this series. Damn. So the Queens pushed across the map with the Lings to force the cancel on the third. It works beautifully. We sing Chariots of Fire, and then herO just builds a bunch of Blink Stalkers and says, I don't think you're ready for this, actually. Again, killer instinct from herO to just be like, I actually know how to beat this. I know what you can't handle right now. And if I commit 100%, only if he commits 100%, does that work. Only with that gateway there. Only with no probes at the third. Only with the absolute utmost confidence that he has enough to win. Can he win? That's wild. If he half-asses that attack, I think Dark just holds it. We macro. Counterattack maybe does a lot more damage if he like starts to probe it up, tries to macro behind it a little bit. But herO, killer instinct, says everything on the table right now, and we win. I don't know, man. He's built different. Man, I hope this isn't just a blowout. That would actually be super surprising between these two, who almost always have an insanely close series. The last few weeks, there's been a few finals between them, and I think there's been a couple of 3-1s, There's been a few 3-2s. I don't know if there's been a 3-0 for a while, though. So let's hope he can pull it back in Game 3. Here at Royal Blood. Lower left. It's Dark. 2019 WCS BlizzCon World Champion. But his opponent in the upper right-hand corner has had some great showings this series so far. It's herO. Looking good, looking strong to take Game 3. God, excuse me. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much. I must be allergic to Protoss winning. That's actually why Protosses don't win anything. It's because commentators are allergic to that happening. So when Protosses start winning, all the casters get sick. It's a weird thing that happens. God, I wish we could see Dark go for that proxy hatch spine crawler rush he did against Classic. That was such a beautiful, beautiful game. I just love that so much. Definitely putting that one on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Twitch and you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. If it's not too much of an inconvenience for you. I know some people keep very curated subscriber lists where they don't subscribe to all but a few channels, and I totally get that. But if you're like me and you just hit subscribe on like a bunch of channels, I'd really appreciate it if I was one of those channels, one of those many. It would mean a lot to me. I'm actually very close to getting my YouTube channel to like, I think it's just called being YouTube partner. I feel like I should know the terminology, but I used to think the watch hours would actually be the hard part. I'm actually getting great watch hours. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. But I need like 720 more subscribers, so got to get working on that. I don't know. There's another Stargate opener. I was going to try to talk about the game, but there's not a ton to talk about here. So instead, I'll mention that once again, we do have a matcherino for this week's event. Got codes in there. If you guys wanted to press that button, let's see. How many codes do we have left? Refresh this page. 32 codes left. Each of them worth 25 cents. I am not going to do the math to figure out how many more dollars that is, but it's an amount of dollars that we can add to this prize pool, which all goes to the players. So if you guys haven't hit that button yet, please do hit that button. Of course, all that prize goes on top of the $400 that is provided by the Patreon every week. Shout out to the patron supporters, the real heroes of StarCraft, keeping Korean StarCraft alive. Got to interview Beyond last week after he won last week's KSL, and he was very thankful for this event, and I mean, very thankful to all the supporters. I think all the players are. There's been a lot of community support, crowd support for Korean StarCraft in particular after the GSL budget got slashed hugely. GSL's got some crowdfunding now. Wardy's had some crowdfunded tournaments. And of course, this weekly is funded completely by the community, as is our summer tournament,
Chickenman,
which will be fully announced with all the details, the dates, and everything very soon. We're so close to an announcement. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a banger, I believe. SealPup B3B0. Thank you so much for the resubscription. 37 months. I don't know if I've ever said your whole name out loud before. I feel like I usually just say SealPup. I kind of like adding all of the random numbers and letters people have in their names sometimes. It's like calling somebody by their full name. you know? Not like a nickname. You get the whole thing. It only happens in something really fancy is going on, or if you're in a lot of trouble. So we're macroing this game. Just talk about it a little bit before anything too exciting happens, because so far, not much has happened. This is just a single Oracle. Oh no, this is double Oracle. This is the second one. All right, second one's hanging up by the fourth, keeping it safe. Nothing's happened, and there's already a fourth base going down for the Protoss. That's how you know we're just in a long macro game. Blink a +1 on the way, but herO, I feel like he's going to have to do something soon, or Dark's just going to... Oh, okay, no, never mind. I was going to say Dark's just going to macro, but he's not. Dark is not doing that thing. He's building a bunch of units. He wants to cancel this fourth. I mean, herO's getting it really well defended. Dark's got a lot of stuff. He's really got to go with this. All right. 8 more Overlords on the way. So he's about to pump out a ton of units. He's got more Roaches, Ravagers on the way. The Nidus going down, so he can even bring Queens with this. He can also reinforce super quickly. The Hydra Den is done. We could try to get some Hydras out as well. That might be just in case there's some air units coming out. More than just a couple of Oracles. I don't know if he's going to bring the Queens. But Dark's going completely all in here. We talked about the killer instinct that herO has. Dark is one of the only players that I think can rival his killer instinct in terms of just sometimes, man, Dark is like, all right, I'm going for it. He does that same thing where he says, if I just send it right now, you can't hold it. And herO is not super prepared for this. He's got a lot of Blink Stalkers, but they were not in position to deal with this Nidus, and Lings are spilling right in. The Cyber Core is going down. Something's getting recalled. It looks like a handful of Stalkers getting recalled, but Lings are in the main as well. Ravagers starting to pile down these buildings out front, opening up space for the Lings. Queens are out here as well. Stalkers getting hit by Biles, pulling back into mineral lines. These Stalkers trying to hold on here. There are a few stasis traps, so this could be really nice, but so far they haven't really triggered on anything. This stasis trap gets canceled. It just gets straight up killed. More and more Roaches on the way. Oh, but there's DTs. Oh, the Dark Shrine. Oh my God, herO, you beautiful, beautiful man, holds this off with DTs, and he is going to kill these Nidus Worms and completely stall out Dark's build for right now. Dark has to pull back. He's got to morph Overseers, and even with those, there are Blink Stalkers out. There's Archons being morphed now. herO has an army, like an actual army, not just a handful of Blink Stalkers and 2 Oracles. Charge is done for these Zealots as well. So now he's got Charge Lot Archon, Blink Stalker against a Roach Ravager army. Dark has a ton of army supply, but he's on a low drone count behind this. herO, if he can just buy as much time as possible, and you know what? It looks like he might be able to kill this Nidus Worm. Oh, he pulls back. I feel like the Oracles could have done something here. But he's just going to try to buy as much time, warping as many units as he can, because he has the much superior economy. But there's a lot of Roaches coming across. They don't have speed, though. These are slow Roaches. Dark skipped speed because they were going to have the Nidus. All right, speed's about to finish. Oh, it's so painful in the meantime to watch these units try to micro against the charge lots. But as speed finishes up, it's going to be better for Dark. But is it enough? The blink forward from herO. He feels confident. And the DTs may have saved herO in game number 3. He warps in Stalkers to try to block the path, and he can blink these forward and kill all the rest of these Roaches and Ravagers on the retreat. He's happy to take these trades. herO has so many more workers. Dark just saw a 5th base on the way. All the Roaches but 1 die there. And herO is in such a good spot. Dark realizing, man, his drone count is just not good. And he's just got to keep pumping units. He's just got to keep going for it. But now the supplies are even. They're dead even right here. Well, all right. Dark's still a little bit ahead. But herO, I think he's just going to have too much. Cannon shield battery coming up as well, so can't really even be any funny business. And Dark doesn't have anything behind this. There's no lurkers coming up. There's no like hive on the way so we can get some infestors out or something weird like that can pull him back into this game. He's on Roach Ravager, and he just doesn't have the economy to support the amount of Roaches and Ravagers he needs. There's 3 Oracles out. To be honest, there's no Hydras. At this point, the Oracles can turn on and just help in the fight, and there they go. herO feeling like he can just push this completely back, and the more he does this, the better it is for herO. Blinking forward again, taking these trades is so good for him. Supply staying even, but herO on 87 probes. He can just respike. He's warping in Stalkers. The Stalkers have blink. The Roaches just can't hang with them. Okay, if they blink forward, then they can't blink back. So Dark is smart to stay and fight here. herO is up at +3 attack, though, as well. He's up that upgrade. And again, the trade's slightly better for herO, but he's just been mining so much more. How do you come back for this as Dark? I feel like the answer is actually you don't. And herO just needs to keep building Stalkers. He just needs to keep this on. Look at him taking the gold. Dark's on 4 bases, and herO's like, I want a 6th, actually. Let me just take the forward gold. Man, I feel like if Dark saw that, he'd be so salty. I would be salty if I was Dark and I saw that. Honestly, this is kind of rude from herO. Anybody else feel like this is rude? He's gonna put down some static defense at it too. Cannons and shield batteries. Moves around the other side to draw fire from it. So rude. There are a bunch of Hydras on the way now. They don't have their upgrades though, which means they'll be slow and they'll have less range than they should. Okay, he starts up the upgrade now, but oh man, I don't even know if we're gonna get to those Hydras really coming out into play. The Stalkers and Zealots are here. Queens are going down. Drones are getting pulled. So I think the Stalkers might have to leave. They don't do well when drones are pulled. But he's going to clear up some creep. 62 drones on the map for Dark. I mean, his economy is just absolute garbage right now. And herO's gold base is up and running. He's got 10 probes out of 12 at it. herO's at 96 workers, guys. 96 probes. He's actually maxed at 104 army supply. Dark has more army supply than him at 176 supply. Wild. Dark's army is good. Like, Roach Hydra is not bad. It's kind of better than Gateway armies, but herO's just going to trade and trade and trade. And even if they're not the best trades, it's not really going to matter. Behind this, he's got double Robo. Does he have a Robo Bay? No, he didn't even have a Robo. Oh my God, he doesn't even have one. We're 13 minutes in. He's on 6 bases. He's building his first Robo. So he's going to go double Robo, and I imagine grab a Robo Bay and get into Disruptors is the plan here. Dark getting into Lurkers is always a bit of a threat. If Dark can get to like actual Hive in late game, it doesn't really matter how far ahead you were in the mid game. But he's not there, and he's not going there. And I feel like the Zealot run by actually beats this army. We'll see. It's good position for the army. herO's trying to run around. He's blink microing on the other side against the Hydras. The Zealots are doing pretty well here. Dark might be able to clean this up. Maybe if Dark can clean this up and push herO back, herO will have to think twice. But I'll be honest, I don't think so. He just warps in another big wave. He sends them across. He's got 13 gateways. That's 13 Zealots at a time. And there's the 3rd Robo and the Robo Bay finishing up. And he's just keeping them back. Dark's about to have a 5th base, but he's only on 59 drones. I mean, 59 drones doesn't even saturate 4 bases, let alone 5. I will say, the trades have not been going super well for herO, but, you know, as I say that, I think that's the same difference it was earlier when I looked. So I guess it's good enough, and Dark is really struggling to hold on to the left side now, and he's going to lose the 3rd. Oh, the last thing Dark needed was to lose a hatchery. Stasis trap's going down. Dark, he's sending it. He's gonna send it. Oh no, dude. Oh man. Oh no. Ah! Okay, Dark's really good. He's splitting. It's beautiful. Oh, I thought we were gonna see a huge hit. Fortunately, Dark is really good at the game. But he just, like, he sent it. He has nothing back at home. The Zealot counter attack is killing absolutely everything over here, including these reinforcements. Oh, and a massive stasis trap seals the game. herO was winning that game for like 7 minutes. And, well, it didn't change. herO takes the 3-0 and defeats Dark in the grand finals. He's too good.